So I want to start with the USA Select team. So I think this is a particularly amazing honor because it's getting selected to the USA Select team is not just about your talent. What those guys are saying, the guys who are the decision makers for Team USA are saying, you can help make the main team better. It is a payment of respect to you being a winning basketball player. That's why I think it matters so much. Did you expect to be invited? Was this like a goal of yours that you achieved, or were you surprised when you heard about it?
I would say I was pretty shocked when I got the news. My agent had called me and let me know that I had been selected to participate. I was blown away. I didn't think that was going to happen. It wasn't like a goal of mine or something that I was thinking about. But, when you get an honor like that, you have to take advantage and jump at the opportunity. So that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, if someone asked me to explain Jaime Jaquez's game in 10 seconds, it would just be a really good basketball player, just well-rounded, does everything well. That's the kind of guy that helps push people and make other people better. That's why they wanted you there. That's why they wanted you to compete against the best players in the world. I thought it was such a cool honor. Tell us more about the process. Was there a ton of scheme implementation at first? Were they trying to just inundate you with a ton of sets and defensive coverages? Or was it more just kind of they trusted you guys to go play basketball and you just competed against each other for a few days?
I would say that, the first couple of days was a lot about putting in offense and defense and a lot of what the Olympic team would see during their competition. So we, got a bunch of plays put in for the very first day so that we go execute the next day. A lot of that and a lot of defensive principles. But at the end of the day, they just told us to go out there and hoop, play our game and, really push those guys and give them a challenge because that's what they're going to face.
Yeah, for sure. Was there a particular player on the select team that you matched up against and competed against, and then you left that experience feeling more respect for that player, a player you were impressed by?
I mean, the guy that I was probably matched up the most with was probably LeBron. I already have incredible respect for what he's been able to do, the longevity he was able to play with. Obviously still playing, but just how hard he goes. Even Coach Spo was telling me that this guy, still wakes up at 6 a.m. in the morning before everybody else and gets his lift in, and the way he prepares for practices. It is like he's playing a game. So you get to see that. And, those are things that I want to take and implement into my routines and my lifestyle. And, just being able to see that was incredible.
Yeah, I saw a quote from KD the other day talking about how he just, the amount of energy LeBron brings every day, how it's contagious. And a basketball season is a grind. It's hard to bring it every day. So when you have a guy that brings that energy, it just kind of lifts everybody up, and then you get a little bit more out of every practice, and it just makes it better. Obviously, the select team, that whole process includes the famous scrimmage against the actual national team. And this goes all the way back to 1992 when they actually beat the Dream Team, right? And so this is kind of a famous game for basketball players. Where did that stack up for you with your other core memories as a basketball player? You played in that famous game. What was that experience like?
It was absolutely incredible. I use that word a lot, but that's really the only word I have to describe it. I would say, you got guys, LeBron, Steph, KD, Kawhi, some of the younger guys as well, like Tyrese and Ant. This collective together as a team, it's like the NBA is in a transitional period. You got guys like, LeBron, Steph, KD on their, who knows how many years they got left. And, they're on the floor together at the same time. And you never know when that's ever going to happen again. So just to be able to be in that position, experience that was amazing.
Yeah, a special shout out to Steph, KD, and LeBron for still being this good as the younger generation is coming up, because it kind of makes for this cool experience. I was at the game on Wednesday and seeing the bench unit come in and bring all of their youthful energy, but then also watching the starters get off the way that they did. It's such a cool basketball team because it's two completely different generations playing together. Let's get into your NBA career. So before we get into some of the specifics, did you actually have pretty good intel that you were going to end up in Miami, or was that a surprise to you?
I didn't have intel, but I had faith that I was going to land there. I didn't know for sure, but I don't know. After when number 18 was called to pick, I just had a feeling that my name was going to be called.
That's awesome. You obviously had a very successful first NBA season. You played over 2,000 minutes for a playoff team. the Heat were 2.2 points per 100 possessions better with you on the floor versus when you were off, according to Cleaning the Glass. You had 9 20-point games. So to put it simply, you were a good rotation player for a good team right away as a rookie, which is super rare in the NBA. Did you have any goals going into that season that you lived up to? Or was there anything that, like, did you have any other specific goals for next season, like a next step you want to get to in your second campaign?
I was having this conversation actually the other day about goals and mindset and, expectations. And one of the things that I've learned is that, I go in to have no expectations and just be ready for my opportunity. So I went into my rookie season, not really knowing what was going to happen. The NBA season is so crazy, so many ups and downs. Guys get hurt, and then it's an opportunity for me to step in and be able to play my game. And then so that's kind of what happened. And then this next year, obviously, everyone's pretty much healthy. So my job is just to be prepared as I can, for whatever opportunity calls. And just be ready to play my game and go out there and help win games.
That's actually a really interesting point, because every season has a different roster, a different health based on, how things go over the 82 games. So your role could shift from year to year. Yeah. And so, you can't let your personal goals get in the way of that. You have to just be ready for whatever's next.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. You're just ready for whatever comes. One day, you're asked to, handle the ball and play the point guard. The next day, you're asked to, guard the best player. So I just try to be ready for anything at all times.
I actually have a quick follow-up on that. How much harder was defending at the NBA level compared to the Pac-12 level? Were you blown away by the speed? Was it a tough transition?
Yeah, I think, when you talk about college basketball, everything is so condensed and packed in the paint. Whereas you go in the NBA and, there's 3 seconds defensive in the key. So, there's not anyone there, and it's a little bit wider of a court. The spacing is just much bigger. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more room. So defensively, it's definitely makes it a lot more of a challenge. Mm-hmm. Because, in college, you got guys helping. You get beat, there's a guy helping on the baseline for you. And, that's not always the case in the NBA. You try to, but it's just a lot harder.
Yeah, you containing in space, it feels like, is one of the most important things you have to be able to do now. And we even saw with the Celtics in the finals, it's when you can drive and kick and get the defense in rotation, it just makes everything so much easier. And so being able to contain the ball is so important.